Hi, welcome to this second iteration of this tutorial series to teach you how you can use Blender to create your own very first intro video. Alright, for that you need Blender. I already explained how to install and use Blender in the first lesson. In this lesson we'll be doing something more than just rotate and move a cube. I have my Blender default scene open. You can see a cube, you can see a light, and you can see a camera. If you open this, if you slide this window like that, so you move your mouse over here and then use it to open up, to give a little bit more space on this side, and you can also use this to do this. Yes, we are going to remove the cube. I right click the cube, press X, delete. Now I'm gonna add Shift A, and I'm gonna add a text. This text is now it's flat, lying flat on the grid. And Blender has two modes of operation. One of them is called object mode, the other one is called edit mode. And the way I did that is by pressing tab. So tab to go back to object mode, you can see it here, and tab to go back to edit mode, you can see it here. So tab, tab, tab. I want to, if I'm in edit mode with this text, I can delete the text and enter my own text. And tab again. So I'd like to put it, I like to rotate the text so I can see it better. For that I have it selected in object mode. I press R, X, 90. So it rotated around the X axis 90 degrees. So now it's straight. It's perpendicular to the grid. Alright, so what does the camera see? If I press the 0 on the numeric keypad, you can see what the camera sees. And if I want to position the camera, there are different ways of doing that. If I just, I can select the camera and then use these arrows to change the way, so if I want to move it in this direction, I can do it like that, I can do it like that. But it's yeah, it's a bit awkward in the way that you don't know what it sees. So a better way of doing that is pressing the 0 from the numeric keypad, and then press the N key to open up this little pane here, and then on the view press the lock camera to view. That's it. So make sure you have the camera selected, because now if you zoom in, the camera will move. So I use the scroll middle mouse button and shift middle mouse button. I can do it like that, zoom in a bit, shift, and then middle mouse button rotate, and then up again. There we go. So if I now press the 0 button on the numeric keypad, you can see it has moved to the position I was at. Very important to know how to move your camera. I use this trick a lot because it's more intuitive. Okay, Makelab. Let's do something with the font here. I selected Makelab and I press the F key here. On the right side, there are a lot of buttons. You need to press the F for font. Alright, there's in geometry you've got extrude and depth and resolution. I'm going to use this one, extrude. I'm going to click on extrude and type 0.5. Oh, that's a lot. Let's make that 0.2. Alright, so now you know what extrude does. It extruded the whole text. It made it 3D. Yeah. And with that said, I want to bevel it as well. What is a bevel? Now, that's the best way to just click on the bevel depth. If you click on the arrow, you can also change the value of the bevel. And what you can see here is that it just makes these corners not round but flat. So it just introduces new geometry there. And if I want to have it rounded, I can use the resolution. So now I've got nice rounded edges on the corners there. Alright, so if I now press tab again, I can re-edit the text, and if I press tab I go into object mode. But if I want to do more with this, I need to make it a mesh. From this I need to make a mesh, but for our purposes I can just leave it like that, and I'm going to show you how you can do your animation with this text. But I also want to have a color. So Blender first switch the renderer. So it's default, it's Blender renderer, and it's a very fast renderer. It's a thing that generates the pictures, and I want to switch it to cycles render because that one has a lot better results. And if you're doing intros like that, you always have to use cycles render. And if you have cycles render, you can press this material button. So I made sure I have this selected with my right mouse button. Press plus for new, and I'm going to use a glossy shader surface, diffuse BSDF. I'm just gonna do it, make it a glossy shader, and a glossy is more like a metallic look. So metallic, it's also more gray. So put it in the gray area like that. So I've made it this color. Let me see how it looks right now. It's too dark, but we're gonna change that as well. So if I press the 5 key to go into the numeric pad 5, I can go into orthogonal mode, and shift middle mouse button I can pan around, and but if I press 7, I've got the top view, and here's my camera. And if I right click this light, I can use G to move it. So remember, G is for moving, and then left click again, and I'll place it at the front of the text. I want to have more light, so but first let's change the intensity of the light. So I have this light selected, and I press use nodes. So I've got this button here with a little lamp, and then I press use nodes, and the strength I'll put it at 300. So now I'm gonna shift D, duplicate it, and put it there and there and there. So now let's render this. Let me see how it's getting better. Not that good yet, but we also need to have some surface where light can reflect on. So I press Shift A, Mesh, and I'll go to Plane. And the plane will be there. And if I press S and then drag the mouse out, you can scale that whole thing. I'll right click the plane, and then I'll also give that one a material, and adjust the diffuse, that's okay, and a color, I'll give it yellow color. Let's see how that renders. There we go. So now the yellow is reflected on the glossy surface, on the metallic like surface of the text. But if I want to have I'll make it the color. So I right clicked on the Makelab text, and if I have the color here, I'll make it light green. Let's see how that works. Render image. There we go. All right, so if I press escape, I'll get out of this render mode. Also, I'd like to change the world color. It's this area here. Just press the world button, and then also click on color, make it black. So slide this down, and then it's all the way black. Okay, so now I'd like to animate it. So if I press the 0 button, you'll see this. Press it again, you get out of this mode. I'm going to use, no, let's press the 0 again. Sorry for that, but I was just thinking about how I can do that. So I have, here's my animation pane. I'll put the end at 100 frames. So we've got 24 frames per second, so that's about 4 seconds of animation. I got the automatic keyframe going on here. and I'm gonna right click the text and I'll have it move up. Right, okay, so and at 100 I'll have it all the way down, and right in the middle or something I'll try and do something like a rotation around the green axis, so RY. Yes, let me see how that worked out. So now it have this is yeah, it's a funny animation, but anyway, this shows you how you can do that. So now it's animating. I can press this button here, the camera. I need to put the output and the file format. So H.264 file. The output I'm gonna put at my documents folder, accept, and let me see if everything is okay. So how does this render? All right, it renders okay. So a bit more about render resolution. If you go to this button, you click this button here and go to sampling. Here you've got render. It samples at 10. That's very low. If you want a lot better result, you have to increase this for maybe 100. If you now press the render animation, it'll try and do the animation a lot yeah, with a lot better resolution. So I press animation now and I'll have it render the whole scene, and when that's done I'll be back and explain it a little bit more. So the render is ready. Let's see how it looks. Render, play rendered animation. All right. So in this lesson I taught you how you can use your text. You can change the font, anything you really would like to do with your yeah, line of text. And I show you how to animate it, how to give it color, how to use automatic keyframing. And with all that said, you should be able to create stuff on your own. In the next lesson, next iteration, we'll dive into even more detail, and I'll show you how you can have this text explode here. All right.